The cold autumn rain mercilessly poured over the streets of Seattle. Streams of water ran down the rooftops, reflecting the dim glow of streetlights. The city seemed tired, as if it, too, was sharing the burdens of its people. By an old brick warehouse, where time had stripped the paint and shattered the windows, sat a homeless man. His clothes were soaked through, his face weary, and in his eyes flickered something, perhaps pain, perhaps a memory of a life long gone. Beside him, curled up tightly, lay a dog with its ears alert. The man's name was David. Once, he had been a translator who spoke several languages, worked for an international company, and dreamed of traveling the world. But fate had taken another course. Tragedy, loss, and a series of mistakes and betrayals had brought him here, sitting under the cold rain with only one loyal friend, a dog named Max. That evening, Officer Rachel Hayes was patrolling the area. Seattle never truly slept. Some sought shelter from the rain, others from the law. Her attention was caught by a still figure leaning against the wall. Her instincts whispered danger, yet her professional curiosity won out. She stepped out of her car, her hand hovering near her holster. "Hey, are you all right?" she called out as she approached. The man lifted his head, and in the dim light of a street lamp, Rachel noticed an intelligent, cautious gaze. His voice, rough but steady, made her pause. "Officer," he said hoarsely, "don't come any closer. Someone's following you." Rachel froze, her fingers tightening on her weapon. Her eyes flicked toward the dark alley. In the next instant, a shadow burst from it, a man with a knife, swift and determined. Everything happened in seconds. The homeless man leapt up, shoved Rachel aside, and lunged at the attacker. Metal clanged, the dog growled, and all three crashed to the wet asphalt. Rachel drew her gun and shouted a warning. The attacker stumbled back, wounded and disarmed. Max stood bristling, ready to defend his master to the end. When it was over, Rachel knelt beside David. His breathing was uneven, but his eyes remained calm and bright. "Why did you?" she began, but he just smiled faintly. "I just couldn't do nothing," he whispered. He refused medical help, accepting only a warm blanket from the patrol car. In that moment, Rachel realized it wasn't her badge or her weapon that had saved her life. It was the humanity of a man the city had long forgotten. From that night on, Rachel often visited David. She brought him hot coffee, food, and warm clothes for him and Max. They talked, at first cautiously, then openly. He told her about his past, the books he loved, the languages he'd learned, and how everything had fallen apart. There was no bitterness in his words, only quiet wisdom. Over time, Rachel saw the strength within him, rare and genuine. David began helping other homeless people, standing up for those who couldn't defend themselves. Even the police started recognizing him, not as a man from the streets, but as someone they could trust. One day, David once again proved his courage. He helped save a child who had been locked in an abandoned shed by a criminal. Thanks to his sharp eye and bravery, the boy was rescued in time. After that, Rachel convinced her superiors to give David a chance. He got a job as a translator at the police department, assisting in investigations that required knowledge of foreign languages and cultures. Months passed. David rented a small apartment, and Max finally had a soft bed by the window. Rachel often visited, and between them grew a quiet bond, not just gratitude, but deep mutual respect. David felt needed again. The life that had once collapsed was slowly rebuilt, filled with meaning and purpose. He became part of a world that had once turned its back on him. And the rain in Seattle still fell, but now it no longer felt cold or hostile. It felt cleansing. Because even in the darkest city, one can find light, if only one chooses to believe in kindness.